In this video, we'll be talking about multiplying and dividing integers. So first, let's start by multiplying. So this is really quick. Multiplying integers. Let's start with that. With multiplying integers, we really have to do a quick little rule. So they're more like easy to remember if you know this. When you have a positive integer times by positive, you're always going to get a positive number. So, for example, 2 times 3, both are positive integers, you're going to get 6. Simple enough. Pretty straightforward. Now, if we do a negative times by positive, or positive times by negative, the really order doesn't matter, you're gonna get a negative number. For example, negative 2 times by 3, you're gonna get 6. You're going to get negative 6, You're going to get negative 6. And this is because if you think about it, each month, so when I do multiplying integers, it's more easy for associated with the word problem or real life example. If I have, let's say, every month I get $2 less from my parents. So today, right, we're going to get, how much money am I losing, right? Or let me think of a better example. So each month your number, you're decreasing, whatever. And obviously you can't get a positive, right? If you're timesing a number, a negative and a positive, it's never going to become a positive number, right? If you keep let's say times 3 weeks. Every week for 3 weeks, I get $2 less. How much money have I lost? That's $6. Loss is associated with negatives. Hopefully that makes sense. But just think of it. Negative and positive never make positive. It's always going to be negative. And the same third rule and the final rule would be a negative times by negative always gives you a positive. So it's always going to give you a positive number. So once you get these 3 rules, you'll be able to do pretty much all the problems. So you get negative 2 times by negative 3. That's going to give you 6. So those are the 3 rules. If both signs are equal, so here there's both technically, if you think about it, there's both here a plus sign, positive, and then you think here negative, positive. If both signs are equal, you're going to get positive. If both not the same, then they're going to get a negative number. So here, let's do a couple examples. 2 times 24, 2 times negative 1, and 5 times negative 4, 4 times negative 2. So pause this video and answer all of these 4 little quick problems. So I'm assuming you paused this video and answered all the questions. Let's go over. So again, positive. Both signs are positive, so we're going to have a positive number. And our number is 48. And remember, we have a positive and a negative. That means that our answer is 2 times 1 is 2, but this time we have to have that negative sign. 5 times 4 is 20. So automatically we know it's going to be 20, but it's going to be negative 20 or positive. Since this is a positive and this is negative, we have to answer the negative. 4 times 2 is 8, but since one of this is negative, we have to have that the negative 8. Let's do actually one more. If this was a negative 4 times a negative 2, that equals positive 8. My tip is first solve it without like pretending they're signs, and then go back and say, okay, is it going to be -2 or +2? So now let's move on to dividing. Dividing integers. Again, they're also same thing pretty much. There are rules. Here is where I want you to think about it, visualize it. This, if I have -6 divided by 2, I have negative. I have 2. How is the best way? Okay, so I have 6 little boxes, and they're negative. So I'm gonna put minus, negative signs all over. And I'm dividing them into 2 groups. So 2 groups is equal. How much is in each group? You know what 6 divided by 2 is? That's 3. But it's not just 3, it's -3. Dividing -6 into 2 groups. Right, so in 2 groups, each group of 2, there are 2 groups, and if there are 2 groups of 3, but they're negative. Remember, they're -3. If I had -6 divided by -2, that's the opposite of -6 divided by +2. So the opposite answer of -3, that's going to be 3. So it's opposite, but kind of it doesn't really make sense until you know these rules. So the rules here are positive, here I'll just abbreviate, divided by negative always is going to give you a negative answer. A negative divided by a positive is always going to give you a negative answer. But a negative divided by negative is always going to give you a positive answer. Positive. And a positive divided by always a positive is always going to give you a positive answer. So same concept with multiplying. Remember, when the 2 signs are different, or we have one negative, one positive, it's always going to give you negative. Well, we have both of them are negative or both of them are positive, you're always going to get a positive answer. So that's really it. Let's do 3 problems, and then that will be it for this video. So let's do 4 times by -7. I'm going to come out and and let's do 1. So let's do in 2 division problems. So -12 divided by 4. Let's do -24 divided by -8. And let's do one more. 81 divided by -9. So pause this video and try to go over these 4 problems. One of them is multiplying, and 3 of them are dividing. So I'm assuming you've paused this video and have answered all. So let's go over. First is multiplying. Again, same thing. If we have 2, so right now we have 1 negative. We have 1 negative and 1 positive. Remember, if you don't see anything, it is a positive number. And that means our answer has to be negative. So write the negative sign, get rid of it. Go. And I'll just do 4 times 7. That is 28. Let's do now the rest of our division. We have a negative times by a positive, because you don't see a sign, you assume it's a positive. It's just don't assume like it's positive, right? They don't usually put that positive symbol because they're assuming you already know. So just solve by dividing. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then is it negative or positive? It's going to be -3. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So just put that 3. And since they're both negatives, it's a positive number. Now here, 81 divided by 9 is 9. And it's a -9 because this one is negative and this one is positive. So hopefully this video helped you better understand multiplying and dividing integers.